Well, good morning, everybody. Mike with TTK Small Engine Repair. She's a beautiful fall morning out here. For those that don't know, we are located at 54398 County Road 657, Paw Paw, Michigan. That is exactly 6/10 of a mile south off of Red Arrow Highway. We are on the west side of the road right next to I-94. Our phone number is 731-298-1702. A few things going on this morning. We had to do work on that DeWalt air compressor. She's up and running. That was a piece of cake. I had to replace the gauge on the regulator there because that was bad. We got a few things going on. I got a backpack blower to work on, snow blower, and then for those who have Briggs and Stratton engines, this actually goes on a John boat, and I wanted to see here that this is a Vanguard 16 horsepower, and for those that don't know, that is actually a Briggs and Stratton engine. This came in, he thought he had carburetor fuel issues. It was not running right. So I went ahead, pulled the plugs. This plug on this bank was black. That one was black and wet. So I checked spark, no spark on the right side. So, as a preventative measure, I went through the whole process. I did compression tests, which is excellent. I did check my valves, and I'm glad I did, because the exhaust valve on this bank was tight. I could not get the smallest or the thinnest feeler gauge in there that I had. So I adjusted the valves on that bank, and then I began my diagnosis up here. I did discover I do have one bad coil. But that wasn't my only problem. On Briggs and Stratton engines like this, the kill wire that runs behind these is a unique wire, and hopefully you can see this. But in the palm of my hand, you can see where it's a little dark. On each end of this, it's dark. These are resistors. Now, when this is hooked up, obviously it would go in behind, but what those resistors do is keep these coils from backfeeding into one another. And obviously these resistors weren't strong enough to hold the back pressure on there. So if you've got a Briggs and Stratton engine, twin cylinder, you're having running issues, don't neglect the kill wire that attaches to both coils, because they will have resistors in them. Now, you can make a new kill lead wire and put new resistors in there yourself, or you can just buy the wires. For this particular engine, because I'm pressed for time, this man needs us back. I bought a new wire for it. That's supposed to be in today. I know it runs good with the new coil because I don't have the kill switch wire on there, so I can run this and then shut it off, just closing the choke up on it. So I've got the problem fixed. I just got to get this kill wire, get it on, put everything back together. This goes on a John boat, and for those who are curious, I do not work on recreational vehicles, motorcycles, scooters, go-karts, ATVs, or boat motors. When he told me what he had and what kind of an engine, I said, yes, I can fix it. This isn't your typical boat motor engine, okay? So I don't get into outboard motors or any of that stuff, so don't even call and ask me. But anyway, that's pretty much all we've got today. If you do have any junk or used equipment, don't hesitate to give us a call at 731-298-1702. we'll gladly take that off your hands, and Tim Summers and I will properly recycle it. As well, our hours are Monday through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays, 9 to 3. Sundays, we are closed. But if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to give us a call. We'll try to answer them the best that we can and help you out. As always, I back all the work that I do here. If you have any issues, we're going to take care of you if it's related to what I've been working on. And we appreciate the local communities around us who have supported us for the last several years and continue to bring their business to us. We just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And on that note, I think that's pretty much all we've got. It's time to get those snow blowers out. Make sure you check your engine oil before you start them up. If you've got a sticking float in the carburetor, that gas is going to go right into the crankcase. You don't want to damage your engine. Excuse me. Take you back to this 4-stroke engine, Briggs and Stratton. The one thing that I always do, I always check the engine oil on every engine before I turn it over. And I want to show you this. You can see it. That's his engine oil. That's as black as tar. So I've also changed the engine oil and the oil filter on here. But anytime you have a running issue, you have to go through the basics. Compression test or a leak down test, one of the two, it doesn't matter, is always a must. Then you go in, check your fuel system. Am I getting adequate fuel? It's easy to do. All I have to do is take the inlet line to the carburetor off, crank this over, watch my fuel flow. That'll tell me if I've got a bad fuel pump or not. So when I was all done and over with, I knew I had fuel. I knew I was getting some spark. I knew I had good compression. I knew my valves were set correctly. From there, I started my next diagnosis and discovered that I had a bad coil, but it wasn't the only issue. I had to go deeper. So I had to test the kill switch wires. One's here, then one off from here, to determine if I had a secondary problem, which, as you can see, we do. These little resistors burned up, and it was allowing ignition coils or modules to backfeed one another, causing this thing not to run right. So do the basics. Don't jump around. And I watch a lot of videos where guys are replacing carburetors and everything else, and they still got problems. Don't throw money after anything. Take the proper steps. It's easier, saves you money, saves you time, saves the customer money, saves the customer time. I don't throw parts at anything. I want to know what's wrong, and I want to know why. Okay, and that requires diagnosing. So there are proper steps. Compression is always a must. Checking spark is always a must. Checking your fuel is always a must. But always check the engine oil before you crank any engine over. You do not want to do any internal damage because of your neglect. So on that note, I'll leave that where it's at. So any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to give us a call at 731-298-1702. Everybody, again, thank you for your business. Everybody just take care, and God bless. Bye-bye.